Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Melissa, and today's video is going to be a career reading focusing in on the topic, am I aligned on my career path? So what I'm going to be looking at today is the overall energy of your career situation at this time, and we're going to be looking to see if where you're at in career is the best match to you. Is it aligned with you in the right way? Is it supporting you on your current career goals and life goals in general? So let's go ahead and get into some disclaimers. First, keep in mind, guys, this is a general reading, so some of the messages may resonate quite specifically with you and your situation. Other messages may not. Like I always say, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Just release it and let it go if the message is not resonating with your situation. If you all did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can do that will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings with any tarot reader are always going to be the best way to get the most specific and accurate read on your own energy. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. We're doing 3 piles today. For pile 1, we have this hematite sphere. For pile number 2, we have this aqua obsidian sphere. And for pile 3, we have this tiger's eye sphere. So I want you guys to go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about your current career path and whether or not it's aligned with you in the best way possible. Go ahead and select the pile or crystal you feel the most connected to. And once you've made your choice, scroll down to the description box to locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected pile. See you there. Hey, pile 1, if you guys picked out this hematite sphere, this is going to be your career reading. So we're looking to see whether or not your current career situation is in alignment with you for your highest good, in alignment with you on whatever your ultimate career goals are. So we're going to start by looking at the overall energy of your current situation just to kind of see where you're currently at. Then we're going to move into the tarot and some additional oracle cards to get some more guidance, advice, and encouragement for you. So starting off the reading, you guys have the new moon in Sag. Luck is on your side. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have Aries energy. Okay, this already feels pretty optimistic. I feel there's a lot of energy here that is indicating new beginnings. Aces oftentimes talk about potentials for new beginning. We have Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, with the number 1, also indicating new beginnings. And then you've got a new moon energy here, which is also new beginnings. It feels, pile 1, like whatever you're doing, wherever you're at in your career, like this should be a very exciting time for you. So maybe for some of you guys, this is about starting something new. Maybe you've recently stepped into a new role. Maybe you've stepped into a new attitude around a current role that you're in. Yeah, but there's definitely a lot of energy of new beginnings, and there's a lot of passion and excitement that I'm channeling around your current career path right now. You have a lot of fire energy here with Sag and Aries coming up. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, there is a lot of passion, drive, stamina, excitement potentially around whatever it is that you're currently doing. With the Ace of Pentacles coming up here, I feel like this opportunity, this current role that you're in, it actually has a lot of potential for you. You know, the Ace of Pentacles talks about secure offers, golden opportunities, right place, right time. And the Ace of Pentacles is something that is able to grow and flourish if we're willing to put in the effort and energy for the long term. So for a lot of you guys with pile 1, you know, if we're wanting to know, like, will this bear fruit for me in the future? The answer is yes. But with the caveat that you're going to have to put in the effort, you're going to have to put in the time. And sometimes with our fire sign energy, especially with Aries, there can be a little bit of impatience around like wanting it to happen really fast. And with Pentacles energy, there is a need to sort of be patient with the process and really put in the time, the effort, and the hard work. Still channeling this passion, but remembering that like things don't always happen overnight, and we have to be willing to slow down and channel that energy, that passionate energy for the long term, okay? Sag energy as well. This is mutable fire energy, meaning that situation is changeable. Situation is not necessarily set in stone. I feel that as well with the Ace of Pentacles, that wherever you guys are at, the choice is ultimately up to you, right? Like if this is someplace you want to stay or someplace, or if you may want to go someplace else, it's going to be what you make of it, is what I'm getting from this message. It's going to be what you make of it. Sagittarius energy coming through is telling me that there's an opportunity in your current career to really look at your situation from a higher perspective. Sag energy is exploration energy, right? It's the ability to sometimes travel. It's the ability to learn new things, higher learning with Sag. It's the ability to zoom the lens out and look at the bigger picture situation, right? And sometimes when it comes to a career path, there are certain roles where we may stay in them for a really long time and we may build, and stay there. There are other roles that kind of serve as like a step on our path, right? They are there for us to acquire a certain skill. They are there for us to acquire a certain type of experience. And then once we've acquired it, we are able to move on to the next thing for us, right? So again, with mutable energy, I think wherever you guys are at, like this is something where you still have the time to decide. I think if you wanted to stay where you're currently at, there's a lot of potential here for you. But you may find as time goes on that this is just a stepping stone for you and you may end up going elsewhere. The situation is still in flux. Like it's still, it's still up in the air, I think, in terms of whether or not this may be solid for you. It feels very much like you're the one in the driver's seat here. But I definitely see with Aries that there's a lot of passion that you all are channeling towards your career. And I think that this group, it definitely comes across and reads as someone who is very driven and motivated and has a lot of ambition. You guys are really thinking about yourselves and the things that you want to achieve when it comes to your career right now. And so really you're in the driver's seat with this. So I want to see from the tarot, why are you guys asking if this is in alignment? So kind of looking into what is it about your current situation that is sort of having you question this, we'll say. So why is pile 1 questioning whether or not this is the right fit? I think we will go reversals just for additional context here. Why is pile 1 questioning this? So we have a 4 of Pentacles. Okay. Reverse, sorry. And I want to look to see as well, just so we can get all the cards. Why are you questioning it? What's something you're not seeing about your situation right now? So what's something pile 1 is not seeing about this current career situation right now? Ah, okay. And advice on how to move forward. Death and the Hermit card both coming up. Okay. All right, pile 1. So let's get into this. I have a few more Oracle cards we're going to get into as well in just a moment here. I definitely feel like I'm wondering if some of you guys are questioning this because maybe there's been some sort of like a loss of money or some sort of a financial setback that may have come along with this opportunity. Like, I don't know if you guys have had to take like a pay cut or if you feel like you're not able to hold on to resources as well as you would like to with the 4 of Pentacles reversed. For some of you, I'm wondering as well if there's been an energy of having to kind of Maybe this role has really challenged you to kind of let go of outmoded beliefs, or it's challenged you to open up a little bit more to others. And I'm wondering if for some of you that's felt a little bit uncomfortable, because Sagittarius energy, like I was saying, it is about opening up and exploring different ideas, different ways of doing things. It's mutable, it's flexible, right? And the Four of Pentacles, especially in the upright, this is a very inflexible energy. This is the energy of really clinging on to something, whether it's resources, money, emotions, right? Beliefs. And a lot of times when we're clinging on to these things, it doesn't really serve us in our highest good. So I definitely think with the Four of Pentacles reversed, there may have been some questioning around it, because maybe you guys have felt like you've had to let go of something that you were really comfortable with and open yourselves up in a way that feels uncomfortable. Something I think you guys are not seeing right now is being represented by the Hierophant. So there's a couple messages here. For some of you guys, I feel like there's actually an opportunity for you to take advantage of learning from others who are further along than you. The Hierophant card is like a mentor, right? This is somebody within your career field, someone that you guys are working with, who's actually able to help you and guide you along the way, who has a lot of knowledge about the way things are done and can spread that knowledge and wisdom to you, right? So this definitely feels like you guys have stepped into like a new opportunity, and maybe there's some doubts for some of you around being new and how fast is it going to happen and when's it going to happen, and not being certain about what to do. But I feel like you're not seeing that there's actually people around you who are there to support you and ground you and help you to feel more secure where you're at. I also think with the Hierophant card, it's very important for you right now to learn the ropes of how things are done at this organization, or learn the ropes of how things are done, traditionally within wherever you're at, okay? Hierophant talks about like kind of traditions and customs, and like this is how we do it within this environment. And sometimes with Aries energy, it's not always an energy of wanting to follow the rules. Kind of the same thing with Sagittarius, right? You want to be free. You want to be, like the Four of Pentacles, you want to be free to explore maybe and do the things that feel good to you on whatever day. Hierophant energy is a little bit more structured here. So for some of you guys, there may be a need to kind of dig into this a little bit more and try to adapt to the structure and the way that things are done where you're at, because I think that is what's going to serve you in your highest good right now. There's like some sort of rules you guys maybe need to follow, and there may be a need to temper a little bit of this, rebellious energy that can sometimes come through with Aries, of wanting to do it my way, the way that I want to do, versus the way that it's done here collectively. There is a need for you guys to kind of get comfortable with change. That's kind of a theme that I'm seeing here. It's new beginning energy. I think that there's a need to release the old. Wherever you came from before this, the way that you did it there's a need to release it and let it go with the Death card, right? Same thing here with this Four of Pentacles. Like there's a need to embrace this new energy that you've stepped into, because there's a lot of potential for this to be highly successful for you. I think that you guys already may know this with the Hermit card coming up here. This feels like a very wise group. Like you guys are smart, you are experienced possibly in a lot of ways. You can take the experience that you have gained from past work experiences and workplaces and channel some of that wisdom here. But there is a need to let go of the old very clearly here, and adapt with Sagittarius to the new way of doing things. I also think too, for any of you guys that are seriously questioning, like, is this right for me? Like if you came to this reading because you're really distressed, to me, when I'm looking at this energy, this all looks incredibly positive, right? And so maybe for some of you with the Hermit card coming up, there's a need to kind of go within and do some self-reflection, really do some soul searching, maybe detaching yourself a little bit from the situation as best as you can, and really separating and taking the emotions out of it. I feel like maybe part of the issue why you guys are asking about this is the change aspect of things with the Death card. And change is never easy. Change is hard to navigate for most humans out there. And change can come with a lot of emotion. It's hard to let go of the past. It's hard to let go of the old way of doing things. But I feel in this instance, carrying the wisdom from your previous roles can be helpful, but make sure that you are adapting to where you're at too, right? So let's just close it out with a couple more cards. Pile 1. So what else does pile 1 need to know about their career right now? We have the golden ratio, beauty, nature, and patterns. Let's see what else. Venusians, romance, soulmates, and empathy. So there may be a need here for some of you guys. Look, you guys have the shadow self coming up. There's definitely something that you're needing to release here. Again, here though, with the Hierophant, like there's something here about connections with other people in the workplace that I think are going to really benefit you. Having more compassion and empathy for others, reaching out to someone who's willing to help you, I think is going to be really necessary here, because I see that you guys are in a very like self-focused energy right now. And sometimes this Aries energy doesn't always like to kind of ask for help, you know, but it's okay to ask for help. I feel like you have resources available to you. I think there might be a message here with the golden ratio coming up to really think about your own patterns of behavior in the workplace. You know, like if you guys are questioning this, if you're feeling resistance for some reason, reflect with the Hermit card here on this situation and ask yourself, like, have I been in this situation before? Does this feel familiar to me? And if it does, you know, am I repeating a pattern? Or if it does, like, what did I learn previously with the Hermit that I can bring into this situation and do differently so that I'm not repeating a lesson over and over again? But pile 1, I definitely feel like wherever you're at, it seems to really have a lot of potential. So, you know, I'm definitely curious to hear from you whether or not you feel like this illuminated for you, whether or not you're in alignment with the right path. So drop me a comment below and let me know. If you all are not already, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload my next video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. Hey, pile 2, if you guys did pick this Aqua Obsidian sphere, this is going to be your reading. So we're looking at your current career situation and whether or not it's truly aligned with you and your highest good and aligned with you with regard to where you want to be with your goals. So I'm going to kick off the reading by looking at the overall energy of your current career situation. Then we're going to go into the tarot to take a look at kind of like anything that you need to be aware of with regard to your situation, guidance, advice, encouragement, and then we will close it out. So pile 2, we're starting off with the overall energy of the South Node. We have the Temperance card. And we have Neptune. All right, so overall energy of your career right now. All right. I definitely am feeling like for a lot of you guys, there is maybe a little bit of a relaxed energy around your career right now, wherever it is that you're at. I also think that there's a need here, or maybe an energy of trying to balance reality and like being grounded with your emotions and your imagination in a sense. Like I'm really being drawn to like the water and the earth being here. And temperance is about that balance, right? It is about finding harmony and balance between opposing elements. And so for a lot of you guys that picked pile 2, you may be working in a field where you have to coordinate a lot of competing opportunities or competing priorities, or you may have to strive for cooperation with opposing forces at times. Or maybe you guys do kind of have a unique career path, which is like kind of a blend of something very creative and imaginative with something that is needing to be more tangible and also support you at the same time, right? I do feel that right now there's something about your career that you all are really needing to release and let go, because the South Node is talking about when we are holding on to the past, we're holding on to a comfort zone of like a way that we've been doing things. So maybe a lot of you guys have been doing your current career, your current job a certain way for a really long time. And there's like a resistance to changing or pivoting direction. I'm also feeling like some of you guys might actually be tying up sort of like loose ends, right? So for some of you, the South Node is about like wrapping something up so that you can propel yourselves forward wherever it is that you're desiring to go. And whatever it is that you're needing to wrap up, it might be something that it's going to require patience, right? It's something that's going to require a lot of things hanging in the balance and really taking your time versus like pushing for action right away. With the Neptune card coming up, I think for some of you guys, I feel like there is an energy of imagination, spirituality coming through. Maybe some of you guys are working in like a spiritual field. But the thing about Neptune too, and especially with the South Node coming up here, you guys, like the problem sometimes with Neptune is that even though it can be this beautiful, imaginative, like creative energy, it can also be an energy of not really seeing things clearly, right? Like right now, I feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe the path forward in your career is feeling a little bit murky and unsure. You're like uncertain, right? Like you know that there are certain steps you need to take. You know there's things you need to do. But in terms of like the long-term future of where you're going, maybe that's not been clearly defined yet. Maybe some of you guys don't really know yet what it is that you ultimately want to do and where you want to go and what your goals are. But for others of you, I feel like Neptune is a little bit of like delusion energy, you know? I feel like it's an energy of being paralyzed in, I don't know if complacency is the right word, but you know, sometimes with Neptune, it can be this energy of like we are imagining what it could be, but we're not actually putting in the action to do what it needs to be. Does that make sense? So I'm not meaning to call you guys delusional. That probably sounded really harsh, but hopefully you all get what I mean when I'm saying that. I feel like this group does have a lot of ideas about like what they want to do and where they may want to go, but it's just about needing to balance out the ideas with grounded, tangible action. And there's definitely something here that's holding you guys back from actually propelling forward. And it might be something that you guys have control over. Maybe it's something that you don't. Like all of our circumstances are different, you know? But let's look and see with the tarot. Let's kind of see why you guys might be questioning your career right now. So for pile 2, why are they potentially questioning their career right now and whether or not it's aligned? Three of Swords in reverse. Okay. And what is pile 2 not currently seeing about their career? Look, Temperance coming up again. It'll be interesting to see if it comes back out. What is pile 2 not seeing right now about their career situation? Yeah, like it just feels like when I'm looking at that Neptune card, you guys see how it's like frozen, like it's covered in ice, which is giving me this energy of you guys feeling maybe your career has been put on ice or things have been frozen in the same place for a long time. So what you're not seeing right now is the Lieutenant of Rockets. It's the Knight of Wands. And let's go ahead and grab one more card for advice. Then we'll get into this. We have the Ensign of Lasers, which is the Page of Swords. Okay. Yeah, like I'm feeling like maybe right now you guys are just experiencing a lack of passion or a lack of energy around your current career path with the Lieutenant of Rockets, Knight of Wands reverse. I mean, this is a slower energy like Temperance, right? You guys also did have the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck in reverse as well, which is also giving me like it's a cooled down energy. It's a lack of passion. It's a lack of excitement around career. And so maybe you guys for pile 2, maybe what you're not seeing right now is like part of the reason why there's no forward movement is likely because you're not that excited about what you're doing. If you really get real with yourself about it, you know, Neptune again, it's sometimes where we have clouded judgment or we're not like seeing our situation super realistically at times. And maybe when you guys get real with yourself and ground, you will kind of come to terms with the fact that how you're doing things is not really working for you anymore. It's not exciting for you anymore. It might be something where, you know, I feel like with the Knight of Wands in reverse, this is kind of like talking about wanting to slow down, like, and needing to kind of take things slow and take a more cautious and careful approach with Temperance versus just like diving right in. I'm wondering if you guys are kind of asking about this because with the Three of Swords in reverse, it feels like maybe you've been coming out of a time of healing around your career, or maybe there's been some setbacks or disappointments around your career that have had you questioning whether or not you're on the right path here. And with the Page of Swords coming up as your advice, I think it's going to be very important for you, Pile 2, to like start really questioning everything. You know, the Page of Swords, it is just simply about starting to really dig deep and ask questions. Be a little bit more analytical about what's going on here. And, you know, with Neptune, that's like the opposite of analytical. You know what I mean? This is very imagination and psychic abilities and like spirituality and things like that, where the Page of Swords is going to be more of that logic and facts. Okay. So I think what might help you guys to sort of gain the clarity that you need on how to move forward and what it is that's blocking you and holding you back, start asking more questions, whether it's asking questions to your colleagues, coworkers, leaders, if that applies, or asking questions to self, you know, really challenging yourself to dig deep and figure out what it is that you need to know in order to move forward. I'm feeling like for some of you guys too, there's this energy of like being online with the Page of Swords. Like maybe some of you guys are doing work online and there might need to be more education and learning around how to run a business online or how to do your work online. And you know, the Page of Swords, it's a page, right? So this is about beginning, like it's starting at the beginning of something. And so I think, again, going back to Temperance and kind of deciding to take things slow and being more relaxed, I think that kind of fits with being in a beginner's mode, right? Because you don't want to force yourself to take a ton of action and put a ton of energy into something if you're not really even sure if it's the right fit, you know, or if you're not even that experienced in what it is you're doing yet, you know? So I'm feeling like there is a need to sort of be patient, again, with Temperance, and be gentle with yourself as you're kind of questioning things and figuring things out and learning for those of you like that are new, like learning how to do the things that you need to do to be successful. Okay. But there's definitely a need here to release something from the past, an old way of thinking about things, an old way of doing things. I feel that there's just a need to like refresh your energy right now, Pile 2, around what you're doing. So like reignite your passions, you know, get clear about your why. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Like, what do you ultimately want for yourself? So let's grab just a couple more cards. Pile 2. These are coming out. So we have the Alpha Draconians and the Earth element. Yeah, grounding is super important for pile number 2. This is survival, adaptable, and reliable. But I think for me, like especially with this very like spiritual, imaginative Neptune energy coming up, I feel like this getting real energy is like what I'm getting from the Earth. Like there's a need to really be considering like your stability, right? Like is the situation that you're in reliable? Is it really supporting you? You know, is it sustaining your ability to just exist and survive in this 3D like matrix life that we live in, you know? I think starting with asking questions about that is going to be really important here. Like, am I set up for success here? Is the foundation built to be able to support me? And I think grounding, like looking at this from a very like logical and practical perspective is going to be the way to go. The Alpha Draconians, it says corrupt, unethical, and cults. That's a little extreme. This is giving spiritual vibes too, though, isn't it? Doesn't it kind of look like that? Yeah, like I just keep feeling like for this group that what might be holding them back is like a certain way of doing things that's like outmoded at this point, or no longer in alignment with you. Maybe for some of you guys, this is referring to like a boss or leader in your workplace, or a coworker, or someone that might have like some sort of control over the situation that you don't. And this might be somebody that's really hard to deal with because they kind of make the rules too. Like a lot of times I see this come up in readings for myself, not necessarily pertaining to these themes, but like it's usually when it's like rules that I have to follow that aren't really my rules, but they're like someone else's rules. You know what I'm saying? And that could be what it is that's holding you guys back right now. It could be your spiritual beliefs that are getting in the way, you know, for some of you. Because again, there's that balance with temperance of, you know, the earth energy with the spiritual energy or the emotion of things, right? And you have to have both. You can't just like, how do I say this? I don't want to sound harsh, but it's like there are times when it's like, yes, let's leave it up to the universe. Let's leave it up to spirit. But then there are other times where we have to show up in alignment with spirit and like doing the work ourselves, right? It's a co-creation, you know? So if you're in this paralyzed energy of Neptune of like, well, it'll happen when it happens, and then you're not putting in the action, you're not taking the action here, well, then you're just expecting something to fall into your lap at that point. Does that make sense? So there's definitely a need for this group, I think, to start balancing out this Neptune with a little bit more grounded, tangible, and logical approach to the work that they're doing. So pile 2, you asked if you were in alignment. I feel based off what I'm picking up on here, I don't know that you're completely in alignment right now with where you want to go. Definitely seems like there's a little bit of work and reflection that needs to be done here. But I would love to hear from you in the comments what you took away from the reading and how you feel like it's lining up with your current situation. So please drop me a comment and let me know. If you all are not already, please do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload my next video. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye. Hey, pile 3, if you guys picked out the Tiger's Eye sphere, this will be your reading, and we're going to be looking into whether or not you are in alignment with your current career path with regard to, is it in alignment with you and what's in your highest good? Is it in alignment with your ultimate career goals that you have in mind for yourself? So we're going to start off the reading with some pre-shuffled oracles looking into kind of the overall energy around your career currently. Then we're going to move into the tarot to get some guidance and advice for moving forward. So for pile 3, we start off here with the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. We have the 7 of Cups. And we have Sagittarius. Expand. Okay. All right, so I think for pile 3, maybe one of the reasons why you came to this reading is that right now there may be a little bit of confusion around your career, which makes sense, right? You wouldn't have clicked on this reading if it was totally clear to you necessarily. So I'm really being drawn into the 7 of Cups because the 7 of Cups is sort of this energy of like, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of possibilities, right? And sometimes the 7 of Cups also can just like talk about our hopes and dreams, right? What are the things we fantasize about when it comes to our career? What are the things that we ultimately desire and that make us feel really excited and creative moving forward, right? Imaginative ideas. This also says get rich quick schemes on it. So I don't know if that's something that's going on for some of you out there, but overwhelmingly, it feels like there is some confusion, maybe a little bit of clouded judgment or just uncertainty because maybe there are a lot of things that you guys are finding interest in, but you're not really sure what direction you want to take. Or, you know, for some of you guys, there could be this energy of just having a lot of competing priorities at work and not being able to effectively channel like the prioritization, if that makes sense. So with full moon in Aquarius, though, I do feel like this cycle is going to be coming to an end very soon because full moons are about release And with Aquarius in particular, this is an energy of being detached, emotionally detached, and looking at things a little bit more objectively, okay? Also with Sagittarius being here talking about expansion, you know, when I think of Sagittarius, I think of always zooming the lens out and looking at the big picture. And I feel like that is where you guys are at right now in your career. Because there are so many things that are interesting you or so many options, paths you could potentially take, the best thing to do right now is to really zoom the lens out and look at the big picture. Detach a little bit from the emotional side of things. Like I was saying, Aquarius is an air sign. It is detached. It's also a fixed air sign. So with fixed air signs, they're a little bit more structured and rigid about the way that they're going about things versus the mutable Sagittarius is more go with the flow, okay? I feel like with this message of show the world the real you, I think whenever you guys are detaching from your career situation energetically, you want to be thinking about your situation and looking at your options and saying like, okay, where do I feel like I can be my most authentic version of myself, right? Is your current job that you're in a job where you feel like you can show your real self? Or is it a job where you feel like you have to wear a mask, right? If you're in a situation where you're looking at multiple options or choices that you can pick from, I think when you're zooming out, really evaluating where do I feel like I can be true to me in the most authentic way possible. And you might be surprised what you end up landing on. I feel like right now there is this energy of like with Sagittarius of certainly expansion, exploration. I think with expansion, again, I stand by the message of really zooming the lens out and looking at the big picture as you're making decisions. But, you know, Sag energy, maybe some of you guys have been doing a lot of traveling right now. Maybe that's part of where the confusion is coming from, is that as you've been traveling, as you've been exploring, you're coming up with all these things that seem exciting to you, right? And so that detachment is going to be super, super important here. I'm also feeling for some of you guys that picked pile 3, I'm wondering if part of where the roadblock potentially is for you is that you want to do something that you feel very passionately about too, because Sagittarius, it is a fire sign that is going to be talking a lot about our passions. And Sag energy is also the energy of wanting to be free, right? It's mutable. It wants to be free to explore and kind of come and go as it pleases and not necessarily be tied down to like a structured routine. But I feel like there is a need for you guys to kind of infuse a little bit more structure right now, just to better channel your energy in the right way. So let's move into tarot. I want to see like, why are you guys questioning your current path? So for pile 3, why are they questioning their current path right now? What's the energy of this? We have a 4 of Cups in reverse. Okay. And what is pile 3 not seeing about their career situation right now? We have the 9 of Cups in reverse. What is pile 3's advice for moving forward, please? Oh, well, that's the one. We have the Emperor in reverse. Okay. All right. I feel like what you guys are not seeing right now is that there's a need to, like, I feel like maybe wherever you guys are currently at, your cup is not full all the way. You don't feel fully satisfied with where you're at. And maybe this is what's propelling this exploration energy of like wanting to do something different or wanting to explore options or having like scattered energy with your efforts that you're putting in, right? So the other thing I feel for some of you guys is I'm wondering if where you're currently at is a more rigid and structured environment. And I'm wondering if that's what's coming to an end for you, because you guys have a lot of messages here about like exploring and being free. And I'm getting that with the Emperor card as well. But yeah, there's something here for you guys where I think as you're evaluating your situation with the 9 of Cups in reverse, it feels like you want to be really thinking about what's going to make you happy, what is going to satisfy you, what is really going to fill up your cup. Because right now, I feel like your cup is not full. And maybe part of it is that wherever you're at, you feel like you can't really be yourself, or maybe it's like a hard time connecting with people where you work. Maybe you guys aren't feeling supported with where you're currently at by your peers. But yeah, like as you're exploring, I think this exploration is being driven by the fact that you're not feeling 100% happy, okay? The cup is not all the way full. And I also kind of think that there's been some boredom with your career with the 4 of Cups in reverse. Like maybe you guys have been kind of coming out of a time of feeling just blah or bored about your career, or feeling like you're not really in the mood to engage in a meaningful way. And I think, again, it's coming from this lack of excitement, this lack of, opportunity, or lack of being fulfilled. I definitely can see with the Emperor card here that for some of you guys, it might be good to actually continue to take a little bit more of a relaxed approach here, because the Emperor reversed is not structured, right? It's not necessarily a supportive foundation. It's an energy of, kind of being a little more scattered with the 7 of Cups. And maybe that's what's needed right now until you guys are able to figure out what it is that really does fulfill you. But for others of you, I think that if you are frustrated with being confused, or you're frustrated with feeling scattered, again, the message still stands with Aquarius, with the Emperor, that there may be a need to look for structure to help you as you're evaluating here. Maybe one of the things to think about as you're figuring out your next move is, or figuring out whether this current role fits your needs, is like, do you feel supported? Do you feel like this is stable? Is where you're wanting to go going to really set up a foundation of success for you? You know what I mean? So let's see, pile 3. I want to close this out with just like a few more of these Oracle cards. Let's see what else pile 3 needs to know. But yeah, it's like, I'm just realizing all 3 of the cards are reversed. So there's blocked energy here. There's like a lack of passion, a lack of excitement around your career. And I feel like that's probably why the 7 of Cups and the Sag energy is coming up, because I think right now it might be important for you guys to explore and figure out what it is that makes you feel inspired again. All right, so what else does pile 3 need to know about their career situation at this time? Syrians, responsibilities, lessons, and growing up. Okay, yes. Let's get another one. We have Andromedans, sorry, autonomy, free will, and manifestation. That's so funny, because like so much of both of the messages that I keep getting for this group are, it's like, I think there's a group here where they need to take some responsibility, like this card is talking about. And then I think there's another group that's like needing more autonomy and freedom and flexibility. And maybe for some of you, it's kind of a combination of both, right? There are roles out there that will allow you autonomy and that will allow you the freedom to be able to come and go as you please. I've held jobs like that, especially in roles where you can travel and you get to like make your own schedule. I think for some of you guys, maybe that's important to you. Like maybe it is important for you to be in a role where you can have that flexibility in certain ways to be able to get the things that you want, to make you feel happy and satisfied on a personal level, So if where you're currently at is very rigid, if it's not a place where you feel like you can do those things, then maybe it's not in alignment with you, since we're asking about alignments, okay? But again, here with the Syrians card coming up, this is talking about responsibilities, lessons, and growing up. And the Emperor card reversed is kind of an irresponsible energy, you guys. Not going to lie. So I think that there's also a need to balance out your desire for freedom and autonomy and flexibility with taking responsibility for yourself and taking responsibility and accountability for your work. You know, sometimes when we're in this Four of Cups energy and we're just like not engaged, we are kind of like deferring our responsibilities or not, you know, same with the Emperor. Like we're not, you know, taking accountability for the things that we should be doing because we're just not in that mood, you know? But there is a message here that it may be time for some of you guys to take a more grown-up approach to your work. You know, the Seven of Cups is a very imagination-oriented card, right? It's not really a structured adulting type of card, you know? So I think what I feel for pile 3 is the message is that like wherever you're at, you know that it's going to be aligned with you if you are able to do your work successfully and take care of the things that you're responsible for, but maybe you also have the freedom and autonomy and the flexibility that you need to feel personally happy as well, okay? Hopefully that makes sense, pile 3. It's definitely a really interesting message. I would love to hear from you in the comments, you know, if you feel like where you're at is aligned or what were some of your takeaways from this reading. So drop me a comment below and let me know. If you guys are not already, please do subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload new content. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.